Today, I wanted to show you some improvements or some new features to the Java code action in Tasker. Let's start off by checking out the feature where you can monitor the notifications that arrive on your system. For example, media notifications. In this small example, I've created some code that will skip any song that is in the forbidden artists variable. There's a variable here called forbidden artist, which is set to Coldplay at the moment. And what this means is whenever a song comes up on my playlists and Coldplay starts playing, I may not like Coldplay, let's imagine it, and then any song from Coldplay simply skips and goes to the next track. So let's see it in action. First, I need to run this code, which will start monitoring the notifications in the background. Now that it's monitoring it, I can start playing some music, and let's see what happens. If I play some other music that's not from Coldplay, it works normally. If I go to this one, it still works. But if I play some songs from Coldplay, it automatically skips it and goes to the next track. So this was something that was not possible in Tasker very easily, because you wouldn't have access to all of the notifications features and properties like you do with Java code. In this code, you can simply access all of the notification properties, check the artist, skip the playback, and do anything you can in Java code. So this is just a small example for notification monitoring, but I think, in my opinion, best of all, you can now also monitor accessibility events. This allows for some crazy stuff that wasn't possible before. First off, we also have the task to start listening to accessibility events. And the way I structured it is like in a modular way. You can add or remove modules from the accessibility monitor, and then they have different features. So to start off, let's start the accessibility monitor. You may notice that the task finishes right away, and it's now monitoring it in the background. And now we need to add modules to it. I have created 2 example modules, but you can create any module you want. Let's check out this text replacer module. So if I run this, I kind of like install the module, and then it's ready to run. This module has several add-ons that I've added here, and one of them is a simply date replacer. So these are all text replacers, which means that if I go into some text box like this, and I write, for example, that one, it automatically replaces it with the current date. Did you see that? Pretty cool. And it's super fast, as you can see. It works in the background, and it works quite reliably. I can add more text replacers. For example, let's say this one. Now, every time you finish an expression with an equal sign, it will do the math for you. Let's say you're at a lunch party and you want to split the lunch costs evenly. So the lunch costs $100 divided by 7 people, and it automatically gives you the result of the mathematical expression. And let's say it costs $250, and you'd want to divide it by 13 people. Just add the equals after that, and it automatically replaces it. As a third example, I've add a replacer for a command. So if you start an expression with these 2 characters there, let's say I have, for example, DND, and you give it a space after that, you can see that Do Not Disturb was toggled on. If I do it again, it's toggled off. And that works because now every time I write that command, it sends a command, a tasker command, and then it triggers one of these events. I can do the torch, I can do the Do Not Disturb, which was the one I used. Let's try the torch one. So if I write this and then torch and then space, you can see that the torch was now enabled. If I do it again, it was disabled. So as you can see, it even deletes the command from the text box. So now let's imagine you're in a WhatsApp chat and you want to quickly do something on your phone. You don't even need to exit WhatsApp, and you can simply do it with a command. So these are the text replacer modules, or one module with several add-ons. And now I've created this other example to control Reddit doom scroll. So if I install this module, I've set the limit to 50. And now if you scroll, a bit on Reddit, after a bit it says you scrolled enough for today. If you try to go back in, it just blocks you out and says you scrolled enough. I can easily change how much I can scroll. Let's say I want to double this. So instead of 50, I use 100. I installed the module again, and now it was updated to 100. And now I can scroll a bit more, and a bit more, and a bit more. But after a while, I can't scroll anymore. So if you have trouble with doom scrolling, this one can be for you. And just to show you how easy it is to create one of these modules, let's create, for example, another replacer like this one. So instead of date, let's say I want to clone this. And instead of date, let's add another expression like the weekday name. So for example, weekday name, WDN. Go in there and replace this completely with a different text replacer module that uses the expression WDN to insert the weekday name. Let's see how this works. Okay, now if I run this, it added the WDN module. And now if I run WDN Wednesday. Cool. So as you can see, in some cases, you don't even need to know Java to implement these replacers because it's all built into this base accessibility event monitor that I built. You could also create other modules that do different things, like this doom scroll status thing, doom scroll protection, I mean. And the sky's the limit, really. Basically, this accessibility event monitor gets all the events, and then you just do whatever you want with it. So this is the notification events and accessibility event monitors in Tasker, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.